Okay, so League deck. We were playing Erayo Affinity Loch. Erayo is really a classic card, and like I've mentioned this, but I'm trying to like before Strixhaven comes out, and maybe even this is like especially relevant for Strixhaven because Strixhaven seems like it maybe will take us back to a bit more of a classic modern games. I don't know. Like there's a lot of new tools with Strixhaven. So I'm trying to get some older modern cards back into my database, back into my rotation. And Arayo is one of them. This card is potentially very powerful. It's a 2-mana 1/1 flyer, and then whenever you cast a fourth spell of your turn, it transforms into an enchantment, Arayo's Essence. And this says, whenever an opponent casts the first spell of each turn, counter that spell. This is very, very powerful, Arayo's Essence. And now that you have Mox Opal, Mox Amber, Boomerang Basics to a much lesser extent, your ability to just play Erayo and flip it immediately is a lot easier than it used to be. The problem is Flip Erayo has like a lot of weaknesses against like prowess. They don't care that much against living, and they kind of don't care at all because they just get the agent gets countered. Titan can fight through it, etc., etc. So finding that like lock piece, although I guess I'm just for the living in example, Canonist also gets got by Shardless Agent. But finding Canonist as like a lock piece that says each player who casts a non-artifact spell can't cast additional non-artifact spells, so they're stuck on one spell a turn. You can lock them out. Pretty nice. It does get broken up by Seiju and stuff, but it also doesn't need to just win the game completely by itself because you're a deck that's full of Saga tokens and Pinnacle Emissaries and a couple Kappa Cannoneers. Still playing 1 April as a top end card advantage engine in this build. I think this is a good build for one. Obviously, some numbers want more than others. Um, Good luck winning Flipped Araya with Abrupt Decay in the form. It's the most Yendrick comment of all time. Good to see him. So this hand can flip Arayo turn 3. We're on the play. I think we'll keep it on the play. I'm gonna lead on the Saga. Did you play this Black White Leo deck before this challenge? Is it new? We played it in the Friday's challenge, and I played it a little bit off stream. Not a lot, but I have been liking it a lot. In the little games I played, and we just kind of had like a weird false start. Like we lost the storm despite being a 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Ranger Captain, 4 like Lockpiece stack, and then we beat Boros, and then we lost to Affinity, and then in game 3 of Affinity, like I had a Wrath the Skies where I could clear everything but Emry. And I thought, and I also had a Thoughtseize, and like I could also play like Leo that turn. And I was thinking to myself, instead of going for okay, sorry, hold on, let me think here. Do I want to Boomerang Basics the Ragavan? So next turn I go Erayo, Boomerang Basics my Mox Amber. Then I go double Mox in and I can play it all. So I think I'll just buy maybe a little bit of time here. So okay. So about Coco and then this deck. So in the game 3 against Affinity, I could have Wrathed, but instead I chose to Thoughtseize them to play around Metallic Rebuke, which they were also representing, and their hand was 2 Krangs, and so we lost that game because of that. And so it just felt like we needed a redo on the match there. I guess I could also go Emissary, Opal. I'm gonna need the Amber anyways. But if I go Emissary, Opal, Erayo, Boomerang Basics, yeah, that should work. I could also bounce one of their things here. Could bounce the Ragavan, which I think I am going to do. I think that the Ragavan is going to make it a lot easier for them to fight through the Erayo. And I think the Saga is going to have a much easier time if they're not able to like double spell as easily this turn. So we flipped Erayo here. I played against the Shackles deck. I forgot what a miserable card it is. If it regains popularity, I don't know what I'll do. You could play like a Pithing Needle or some Artifact Destruction. Yeah, I mean, this is just not the right way to build Dice Factory, I think. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of Dice Factory as like a value engine. I think it's like I think you end up drawing so many artifacts. Like I don't know. The card draw is weird with this engine, and then also like when you're upheavaling your cornucopias and your chalices, I guess you can spend a lot of mana to reset them, but you also like undo a lot of the investment you put in them in the first place, especially with Core Tapper. It's a little bit interesting. All right. So it's token, and then yeah, I can make 2 tokens extra if I get another Amber, which I guess I could do. Could you use High Noon to assemble full luck with Erayo? We're playing Ethersworn Canonist instead because it's a little less detrimental for us. High Noon has some advantages though. In this deck, you play Cage in the sideboard, and others you play Jailer. What's the reason for you? What to use when? Honestly, probably shouldn't have Cage because I am an Emry deck. But like Cage is like more of an Urza Saga tutor target to like cover Graveyard Hate in Neoform and Yawgmoth, and then Soulless Jailer is like an anti-storm, anti-living end card. So like they don't cover the same bases almost at all. You can bring them in against Gorios, I guess, but like for the most part, I think of Soulless Jailer as an anti-storm card. And then in this deck we don't need more anti-storm cards because we're an Aethersworn Canonist Erayo deck. So we don't need to be like sideboarding Soulless Jailer with main deck Aethersworn. You mean Opal Saga? I do mean Opal Saga, although I don't know what I actually said. 73 months. There's 73 toes on the average player's left foot. Good to know. Thank you, Spoke. So if I make a construct, it's going to be 4 power, which means my opponent will just be able to kill it with the Ajani here. Well-designed card. Ajani, Nakado, Pridemate. We do have an Aether Spellbomb we could get, although that would come at the cost of not being able to make another construct, I believe. I'm a little bit interested in getting the Aether Spellbomb. Maybe more than that. I do just draw another land. I think I'm going to get the Aether Spellbomb. Oh, sorry, I should attack with the drone. Why not make 2 tokens? So I can bounce the Ajani and I can actually block this turn. And also in order to make 2 tokens, this Mox Amber does not tap for mana. I guess. Maybe I need to say that. This Mox Amber doesn't tap for mana. So to get 2 tokens, I couldn't get this Aether Spellbomb. I would have to get another Mox Opal. Shout out Surveil Lands. Good, even in Affinity. We're only playing 18 lands. We've drawn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Get the Lantern. Kind of interested in thinning. Let me... I think I'm interested in attacking like this. This forces at least 1 block, and then it's going to put them a little bit in the blender. Do you think fetch lands would still be as good if they cost 2 life to fetch? No, they would be worse because they would deal more damage to you. They would be worse than they are. They wouldn't be just as good. So right now you only lose 1, and so if they lost 2, they'd be worse. I am an expert when it comes to Modern, and you could only trust me to give you these kind of hard-hitting opinions. Only I can evaluate these situations and let you know what's good and what's bad. I've been Aspiring Spike, signing out. So they are going to be able to flip the Johnny, although at this point we can block the Pride. Although I think it's a little bit weird. I think I do like blocking this. Just so I can actually start pressuring the Ajani rather than like letting them block and flip it. And they don't have enough creatures to kill this construct. So they hit me for 4 instead of killing the drone token. Am I sending? I mean, I have the 3/3 emissary back to block. I guess I've got 2 emissaries back to block. Oh no, I can't play both this turn. I can make my constructs 10/10s. Is there a way to combine Erayo idea with Lantern of Insight Lock? I mean, is that you could, right? Like that's an option you have with deck building. It's kind of an interesting thought too, I think. It's kind of interesting. Like there's certainly overlapping synergy there. Maybe I should have set the drone token at them. I don't know that's gonna matter all that much. Just gonna wait on the lantern as well. Why does this cost 2? Oh, sorry. I needed to play this one from warp. I just did the opposite for some reason. Whoopsie. I meant to do it the other way. I don't know why I just clicked on the other one. Again, Amber's not online. It's this is not a creature when it's transformed. Sorry. It's good it's not a creature. Not the biggest deal. I mean, it would be nice to have more flyers. I enjoyed Erayo Fiddlebitter to find Canis and Bridge. Bad deck, good times. Yeah. Sounds nice. I wanted to be clear you missed it because of Amber. Oh, I wasn't thinking Amber tap for mana. For some reason, I just clicked the wrong one and then expected this one to work as be able to play with warp. Maybe because it says warp too. It's a Monday. All right, so they are going to play a spell here. So far, the Erayo has countered 2 discharges, a Thraben Charm, and a Bombardment. Interesting. I feel like I would have tried to probably deploy. I probably would have tried to deploy the Bombardment over the Flage because of the Lantern. Although maybe attacking this turn is more important. Although I guess they're gonna get two blockers off this 1-drop. So there's that. Leah from Scryfall. The 34 months. 34 is kind of like 6-7 if you think about it. They're all Arabic numerals for sure. So I'm down to 6. We can wait on the Lantern Sack until they play a spell into the Flage. They hit a Bauble, which maybe will help them like, or sorry, not into the Flage, into the Rail. They hit a Bauble, which will maybe help them fight through the Erayo some. Using the charm to. Not using the charm to destroy. Yeah, they could have just sacrificed the Ajani for it to kill the Erayo as well. Although, I mean, Erayo is pretty dang good. Second Erayo doesn't do anything, so we don't want to keep it. Kappa. All right, we'll cast that, I guess. I think I'm going to tap this drone. And yeah, I think we'll pump the brakes a little bit here. Don't think I've played the attacking and blocking steps of this game very well. Do you think your Asthma Frog Reanimator list has any legs to play this RCQ? I wouldn't play that build of Reanimator. I liked the Rat King build a good bit. I want to play some more of that. Although I think I would maybe default to like the Esper Goryo's Deceit. I've been liking Deceit Superior Spider-Man a lot. I feel like it's kind of how I want to be in on. And so like there's you could be a Goryo's build with Esper, and then you could also be like a Quantum Riddler deck with Dimir, like more of a mid-rangey version. You have a good bit of options. Would you play Iced Coffee in RCQ? Maybe. I think I forgot to mention the Iced Coffee comment earlier. I do like that deck. So if the last card is a 3rd Flage, we die, or a Bombardment, that would be bad. Oh, Boros. I think this game was winnable, probably. Well, I didn't play that bad. So we're gonna keep the lock in. I think I want a needle. I don't know if I want the cage or not. It does seem like recurring flage over and over could be an issue unless we have the full lock. I think we'll just do this. Yeah, I did draw a lot of lands. It's true. What about a blue-white version of your blue-white flash deck? Feasible? No, it's not. There's like I've seen a lot of people try to build it. I've tried to build it. It's like Path to Exile isn't good. Solitude is okay, but like the removal suite in black is better. Cling to Dust is insanely important because of Flage. Cling to Dust is like you are so weak to Flage if you're blue white. You know what I mean? You don't have that like free graveyard hate that you get in blue black. You're weaker to Leyline Scion. It's like you're weaker to everything, which is not a great combo. Let's keep this. We need maybe a little bit of help here. Think this deck could find room for Shadowspear main. That goes a long way to winning the Boros matchup. Okay, Shadowspear doesn't go a long way to winning the Boros matchup, but it maybe gets you part of the way there. Any consideration for Pride being the card to ban? Yes. I think that banning Guide is probably better. What do you think of the most promising cards from Strixhaven? That's a hard question to answer because Strixhaven looks great. Strixhaven does look great. I'm really excited for the charms. I'm really excited for the 10 mana archaic card. I'm excited for several of the prepared creatures. The new Ral looks pretty cool. I would love for Modern to be a format where I could cast the new Ral. I think it might be. I don't think the new Ral is like unworkable with. Let me see what we draw this turn. I might just need to jam the Erayo. Let's see. So I drew Tamiyo. So if I play Tamiyo this turn, I can go attack with Tamiyo, play Emry for 1 mana, play Aethersworn Canonist, Opal. I guess it's not nearly enough mana. So if I play Erayo, then I go. Yeah, I'm just not gonna have Metal. I'm gonna play the Tamiyo to try to help with Metalcraft and try to draw a 0. I think. And there's even like a lot more Strixhaven stuff. It's gonna be a very long PowerPoint video. I'm kind of looking at the Wizard mana drain to Mana Sculpt. It's just 3 mana counter spell if you control Wizard at that much colorless. That card is kind of interesting to me. Uh-oh, he didn't notice my redeem. Okay, there. Thank you, David. No, I did not notice. Want to look at my blue-red through the breach? I've got 2 Blightsteel kills. I would basically never play Blightsteel, I guess. If your opponent has 2 toughness up, it's just like, my combo. Yeah, you want to play Ulamog. You want to play Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, or not Ceaseless Hunger, the new one, the Image 3 one. That one can have like Annihilator 15 if you've imprinted Emrakul to Ugin's Labyrinth, and then doesn't get blanked by 2 toughness. All right, come on, 0 mana artifact. Any one of them? Are there any Eldrazi wizards? I think there might actually be an Eldrazi wizard. Or you can get people with 3 mana manager that comes out. I think I want to cast it. It's like it kind of reminds me of the counter target spell if you win the flip, invert polarity if you win the flip, gain control. Where it's like a game swinging 3 mana counter spell, but it's not as powerful if you win the flip, but it's just going to consistently give you a mana bump. But like figuring out what you're doing with that mana of the colorless is really tough, you know. Yeah, maybe a decay command, but let's see. So only 1 match in progress in the challenge here. New green 1-drop. I haven't seen a lot of new spoilers. I saw some over the weekend. I'll say I've been like more active in keeping up with the spoilers on the weekends than I have been recently. So this is like a 1 mana evolve. So increment whenever you cast a spell, if the mana value is greater than this creature's power or toughness, put a counter. When it dies, if it had one or more counter, make a fractal token with that much power. Spells with high mana value aren't very good. So I don't exactly expect this card to it doesn't trigger off that much stuff. I guess every time you make your K command vigor. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, this deals 1 damage to each opponent. You gain 1 life. Mill a card. You may play that card this turn. Welcome back, The Wondering. Check out Anomaly. Fractal Anomaly. Is this it? My opponent's not doing anything. Create an 0/0 fractal token and put X counters on it, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn. Aw. Yeah, that'll do it. Classic Boros, like make me wait 10 minutes to draw my card here. Wait, can I also make a construct? So Erayo. No, I'm gonna be 1 mana short. I guess I should have I should have just tapped the Saga earlier. But good news, my opponent can't. If they don't have a discharge here, I have a 2/2 to check the Pride, and they cannot cast spells anymore. Great. Yeah, this card's really cool. Fractal Anomaly in like a Faithless Looting, Street Wraith, Mishra's Bauble Shell. Could do some interesting stuff. Could be interesting in VV Cauldron, maybe. Oh, in VV Cauldron? Whoa! In VV Cauldron, you draw a billion cards, right, as you're churning through your deck, and then you play this, and it has counters on it to make mana with your VV Cauldron. That's actually pretty sick. I thought this card was interesting too. Whenever you cast instant or sorcery, you can tap 3 untapped creatures to copy a spell. I thought that was kind of cool. Round 2 is about to start with the challenge. Dude, that card in VV Cauldron seems so sick. It might be win more. You have to get Street Wraith back in the deck, which I haven't been playing either. Maybe it's just still good on like a lot of your turns though. What card's the fixed one? I was just teasing. It's just a 4 mana card advantage artifact. It didn't seem that bad though. It was like 4 mana. It's like 4 mana, draw a card and drain your opponent for 1, and then maybe some other combos. It's like 4 mana tap, draw a card. It's not draw a card. You mill 1 and you can play it this turn. But and then also whenever a card leaves your graveyard, it drains your opponent for 1. And so that also triggers itself. Maybe has some other combos. I don't think it could be completely unplayable. It doesn't seem quite there. Oh, I thought this card was really interesting too. Practice Scrollsmith. 3/2 first strike, pretty reasonable stats. When it enters, you exile a creature non-land card from your graveyard until the end of your next turn. You can cast the card. That reminds me a lot of although I can't actually remember the name. I guess I'm just gonna keep this. There's a 3 mana first striker from Dragonstorm. When it entered, you copied the next spell you played. If you remember that card. But the problem with that card was it was a 3 mana creature, so it was so mana intensive. You basically couldn't make use of it. But this card lets you make use of it, if that makes sense. It's like you get your full 2 for 1. You get your full 2 for 1. You just have to spend the mana on your next turn. And it's also a 3 power first striker. So I although you can't copy creatures, that card could copy creatures, which is interesting. But it can get every other type. So pretty interesting. I think that card's gonna be like maybe good. We'll see. It's like a White Orchid, or not White Orchid Phantom, Renegade Rallier. All right, if I draw a Mox, I believe I can flip Erayo this turn. And let's say if I draw a Mox, I'll do that. If I don't, I'll just drop to focus on the challenge. I mean, I'll cast the Preordain. All right, I'm just gonna concede. Maybe we'll daydream that we win the match by flipping Erayo with Canonist next turn, but let's just go lock in. We're on the play for round 2. Yeah, it's Scylla and the Sirens, and you can brainstorm and then prepare again and brainstorm again. It's really bad. Let's think about it for a second. This lets you potentially brainstorm every turn with counterbalance and play it, and it cost 1 mana. It costs 1 mana. Really, really bad. It's not. I agree. Tapping 2 untap creatures it's tough. Is this card going to be busted in modern? Is it going to be playable in modern? Maybe not. Let's give it a second. I think that it's interesting for sure. I'm not, you know, I'm also not that convinced on it, but Goonie with the 47, welcome back. Appreciate you. Like, you could play Counterbalance Merfolk, it'd be sick. The fact I really like that you can have a brainstorm prepared, brainstorm with Counterbalance in play, counter the spell, then they cast another spell, you prepare again at instant speed, then you brainstorm again to counter the other spell. I think that's sick. Collector Cage. Yeah, it's kind of interesting in Collector Cage. You can prepare it really easily. I think seeing a frog, I'm actually going to Ethersworn Canonist so they can't attract and ephemerate. Oh, sorry, I just forgot to pull this down. Counterbalance and opposition. Opposition is not legal in modern, but it'd be cool. So I don't know. I'm going to think about that card and I'll try to build a deck with it. I think the 1 mana creatures also, like, they almost always get a pass for being slow. Where if your opponent removal spells your 1 mana creature, you spend 1 card, they spend 1 card, they spend 1 mana, you spend 1 mana. It's like kind of fine. And like having a one mana creature that can take over the game, a 1 mana blue creature that pairs, like, I'm not saying this will happen, but like one thing that's interesting is like Guide of Souls and Ocelot Pride. These are 2 1 mana creatures in the same color that are high power level and they pair well together because they synergize well. Could we maybe see a dynamic with this card and Tamiyo? Where these 2 cards synergize well together, where you make a brainstorm and you can brainstorm flip Tamiyo. It's not going to be Guide Pride probably, but it's interesting to me. I think the card's very interesting. All right, so they cannot play another non-artifact spell this turn. Interesting that they took one of my 2 emissaries. My LGS is applying to do an RCQ, and I play Cosmic Wave for Arclight Dredge. What do you think is better for RCQs? Probably Arclight Dredge. I've been thinking that deck's probably pretty good. I've definitely, like, you know, it's been late night. I don't know what I'm playing, or like what to like work on. And I open Arclight Dredge and I do the Fonzie. I go to comb my hair, but it's just perfect. That deck's just perfect. I don't have notes. Don't have a way to improve it. I'm a little bit interested in Hardcast Emissary this turn to like maybe block. They don't synergize that well because Tamiyo is only 1 creature and wants to attack. I mean, Tamiyo doesn't want to attack that bad. But I agree, they don't synergize that well. But I mean, if you go this card into Tamiyo and another 1-drop, you can flip, or you can prepare, and then you can't flip without like an Amber. Arclight Dredge seems way worse for his graveyard hate than most of the graveyard decks. Yeah, but there's not that much graveyard hate, and the graveyard hate that is there, it's like almost all single use. It's like the graveyard hate that's out there is like Thraben Charm and Soul Guide Lantern and Tormod's Crypts, and all these are good, but you just get to keep playing your deck. And if you have like artist talent in play, it's like pretty easy to do so. All right, guess now we're gonna hold the Amber for April. Oh, happy April, everybody! I guess it was April last week. This and Tamiyo are not particularly synergistic because you can't brainstorm every turn using Tamiyo since you're forced to flipper. These 2 cards are synergistic, chatters. I don't know what to tell you. Come on, they're synergistic. It's not like you need to minus on the Tamiyo with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too excited for new cards. So see if they ephemerate the Solitude to clear my drone. This allows any creature to prepare things to call to. That is interesting. Real brainstorm is I have my doubts on this fake one. I don't know. Listen, real brainstorm is too good for modern, I think. This is what we got. Yeah, definitely synergistic with Emissary. So this lets me draw an extra card with April. In fact, I'm probably just gonna bounce there, Frog. So if I'm, hopefully the April lives, but if the April lives, I'm drawing 3, and I don't necessarily need 4. You know what I mean? put my wedding ring down. Because I fiddle with it every stream. And lose it every stream. They do have an ephemerate, which is a bummer. Certified bummer. Why is Brainstorm consistently so bad in cube limited? I mean, fetch lands, it's just way better in constructed, where you can play for Tamiyo, for Terminus. Card advantage, I think, is also in general maybe better in constructed, where you just get to play as much interaction as you want to maximize the power level of card draw. Maybe that's not true. We have an Aether Spellbomb. We could start looping with Emry, maybe. I do also mill Kappa Cannoneer and Ethersworn Canonist. Two pretty interesting cards here. Maybe I should play the Opal to make the construct one bigger. Yeah, I think Brainstorm is good in cube decks. It's just not nearly as good in cube. Or as it is in constructed. Alright, well, let's lose. It's like the best matchup for Test of Talents, where not only does it hit Wrath of the Skies, it also hits their Gorios and their Ephemerides. Like, hitting any of those is pretty good. So that's 4 cards we're bringing in. I want the Spellbomb and I want the Lantern. I feel like maybe I want to cut the Boomerangs. I want to keep in the Erayo stuff. Maybe I could cut Kappa Cannoneers. Maybe we can think that locking them out is going to be enough, and then we can just try to win with Constructs and Emissaries. So maybe I also want to go down an Emissary. Let's try this. Our Dreams Are Dead. The 3/2 rebound only triggers when cast from hand. I totally didn't see that text. Still like that card, even if that's the case, but it's no longer like crazy Orm's Chant Ephemerate. Okay, exile target non-creature, non-land card. The Ephemerate doesn't work. Exile target non-creature, non-land card until next turn you can cast it. So you don't get to rebound Ephemerate off of this. Still maybe pretty synergistic, maybe not. Let's definitely keep this. We have white and red mana off the Opal. I don't know that matters much. What land we get? We could get Island. No Solitude is great news. A mere 2 mana shy of casting April this turn. Not going to play the Opal for another card. Definitely just trying to find another land, or I guess maybe third Mox to play April turn 2. The new 3/2 is just Eternal Witness in better colors. I mean, it's a little different, but it's a 3/2 first striker, which is way better than 2/1 no strike, no stats really. I guess it's always a good time to say that in spoiler season, people really underrate stats on creatures. For modern, people do not think about stats on creatures very much. Quantum Riddler is a great example. The amount of comments I got that's like, when I would ephemerate Quantum Riddler, people would be like, this is just Elvish Visionary, and they would just not think a 4/6 flyer is relevant in modern. And I think that the new Ancestral Recall creature, the fact that it's a 5/5 Ward 2 flyer, like, those are excellent stats. That's an excellent stat line in modern. People don't care. 3/2 first striker, like the fact that that's a real card. 2/1 no stats, not much of a real card. 3/2 first striker, I am happy to have that in play in modern. Kind of interested in cycling the Lantern. We did draw a land to maybe jam the April. But we could maybe have Test of Talents up next turn. Yeah, 4/6 super hard to kill. It's 4/6 is so good. It's creature stats matter a lot. They matter a lot in modern, and every spoiler season, people just don't think they matter at all. What about 3 mana 3/4 that regrows? It doesn't exist. So they say no to Psychic Frog here. So they're probably setting up a Gorios, which I think will test a talent. Although we could maybe test a talent the Loot. What do you think? Oh, what? Okay, so my opponent did not play Frog. when they had Force of Negation in hand, they pitched Frog, and then they did not cast Indulgence or Mending. So are they holding up like Rebuke? Must be Rebuke, right? It doesn't exist. Wait, what is it? Three mana, 3/4 regrowth. 3 mana, 3/4 regrowth ETB? That does not exist in modern at least. Yeah, this card is not that card. Let me I'm gonna go ahead and Test of Talents this Ephemerate, and we'll see what they're working with over there, but Test of Talenting Ephemerate is really good too, because they just can't scam tracks anymore. Okay, so this says it's a 3 mana 3/4. It enters prepared. 3/4 is huge. It does not have Flage. Vigilance is nice too. When it attacks, if you control 8 or more lands, becomes prepared. I do not hate this card at all. It wins the game. Excuse me, sorry. Find a cast early. I like this card. Strixhaven looks incredible. I'm very excited for it. So they did have the dispute. But it says that's a dig deep out of the tech box. We've been playing this card for a little bit, funny enough. So now we get to draw 3 cards off the April. Lucky Amber draw. Oh, sorry, we already cast creatures. It's only 2 cards still. Still casting the Emry is good. I think it might be hard to re-prepare. Oh, it's not going to happen into the late game, but like the fact that this is like fine on turn 3 and wins the game in the late game, that's huge. It's not your plan A. Maybe, but maybe if you're like incidentally playing Orm's Chant or something along those lines, then all of a sudden it becomes pretty interesting. So going to game 3, there's 9 matches in the challenge before round 3 of the challenge starts. Strixhaven looks so good. This is going to be the best set in a long time. I'm trying to lock in now and like continue to focus on the set we have, but I am like physically itching to play Strixhaven. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Meaningfully better than Ewit. I mean, it's a little Ewit's better than Ephemerate, but it's nice that this is like it's kind of like built-in Ephemerate when you in the late game. And it's much better stats. It survives Flage. Better than Edge of Eternity. A little bit early. I just really like the flavor of Edge of Eternity. As someone who's recently read Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, I do like recently have like the Magic University bug, like the like that fantasy genre. But a card mechanic wise, it could be better. It could be better than Edge overall. I am like, there's to some extent Strixhaven is like, no, don't turn 2 Gorios me when I have Cage in hand. It's obviously playing around this is kind of hard to do. Although funny enough, like I would have played the Cage if I didn't draw Tamiyo. Okay, they don't have it, thankfully. What was I saying? But yeah, oh sorry, Strixhaven it's kind of like a modern Horizon set in some ways, where it's like there's so much going on. There's so much complicated cards, powerful cards that are difficult to evaluate. There's so much of this in the set that it's like I can't tell you how good they are without playing most of them. Like it's gonna take a long time to figure out how good these cards are and like where they go in modern. It's just that deep. Milled 2 Mox Opals and an Erayo. We should be able to flip Erayo if we draw it with the Emry and the Boomerang Basics available. Dude, Name of the Wind, Universe Beyond. Let's go. Yeah, the Merfolk Brainstorm card. I think it's cool. It's definitely one I'll try. We are going to be cooking for months with Strixhaven. It's going to be a good time to be following twitch.tv/aspiringspike. I'm very, very excited. The regrowth prepared creature seems pretty bad. Sincerely, could you elaborate on that? Why do you think it's pretty bad? So they pitched a Prismatic in here. Do they have an Ephemerate? They have to target the Canonist first. They don't have an Ephemerate. Is it going to be a great modern card? Probably not. But there's a lot to like about it. The stats are good. The fact that it can come down 2-for-1, relevant, and then win the game in the late game. I think it's interesting. It's also like super unique too. I always tend to care about cards that like kind of do something that no other card does. I'm gonna wait on the Boomerang Basics for a turn. I think they have a Rebuke. But maybe, is there something I'm missing about this Regrowth card? 2-for-1 is if you get to play the spell. The Regrowth, yeah, that's true. And so on turn 3, you could play it and it could die, although it does dodge Flage, it does dodge Lightning Bolt, which people play. Sometimes it dodges Discharge unless they had Guide. You're also in green, so like maybe you are able to ramp effectively with it. I don't know. And then like the fact it's not like, I agree it's not a particularly good play on turn 3. That's definitely the case, but it's not the worst turn 3 play, and it's very good in the late game. Kind of like how Quantum Riddler is not that good early unless you're scamming it, but is very good in the late game. Like there's some echoes of that potentially. So I think I want to lead on Aether Spellbomb sack, so if I draw a Erayo, I can flip it. Oh, right, sorry, I've got stupid Grafdigger's Cage in play. Never mind. Maybe we shouldn't have both these together. Oh, and I've cast more than one non-artifact spell. All right. IDK, turn 3, play Regrowth Guide, then use Solitude, Force of Negation, get it back. I agree. That's kind of the vision I'm thinking of. And like when it if it gets Fatal Push, it's bad. But it's not like the game ends either. Yeah, Cooper Flag had a great weekend. My jersey, or my, not, I don't have the jersey, I have this shirt. My jersey's dirty from cheering all weekend. I was gonna wear it today, but couldn't disrespect him by wearing a dirty jersey. So I guess we go Warp Emissary, Boomerang Basics, and attack with the Tamiyo next, I think.
Yeah. Cooper.
Oh yeah, we also got the bobbleheads.
Yeah,
I think you probably got to cut the Erayos if you're bringing Canonist. Canonist and Erayo are both main deck, because if you have them both in play together, they're locked out. So I don't know if that's a comment that's joking, but I don't think it is. But they're very good together. I think you want to keep them together. So they discard a March. Very hyped about Coop. All right, so they discard a March and then they fly the Frog. Are they going to discard another card? Because I could just flip the Tamiyo with the Clue token. Okay, so let's flip the Tamiyo with the Clue token, and then bouncing the Frog after they discarded 2 things too. It's kind of interesting. We also have the ability... Wait, do I have enough mana to Boomerang Basics my Cage? Boomerang Basics Cage, play Aether Spellbomb, replay Spellbomb. I do have enough mana, but then I can't replay the Cage, which is a bit awkward. Oh, no! Sorry, I keep forgetting about the whole Canonist affecting me. It is symmetrical. Juicy the 53, welcome back, thank you. So they do fly the Frog. They have to discard both of their last cards if they want to kill Tamiyo, but they probably won't land on making that play. They attack me instead of Tamiyo, which is kind of deranged. They still get to draw a card if they hit the Tamiyo. Needed to play Amber for a non-token, for a token to block. Yeah, I guess we should have done that. Yeah, we should have done that. I was planning on it, but I wanted to like try to see if I drew a Erayo, then I guess I forgot about that part of the line. Let's go Boomerang Basics our own Grafdigger's Cage, so that we can play something off of the Emry here. I cannot play another non-artifact spell this turn. So probably... Although I honestly like minusing on Test of Talents does seem pretty good. Could minus on the Boomerang Basics so we could do this play again next turn. Oh my gosh. Why didn't I play the Emissary first? It's okay. I'll get a drink of water before we go to round 3 of the challenge. I think minusing on the Boomerang Basics is where I want to be, though. Sorry, on the Test of Talents. They do have a Goryo's on top. We have Cage in play, though. Yeah, Fractal, this is the one drop. This card seems really crazy in VV Cauldron, where you're churning through your deck, you cast this, and you just have an XX with X counters that you can activate with VV Cauldron. Maybe not that necessary overall. So they go main phase, discard with the frog. I think I'm just gonna chump with the Canonist, which is it's a little weird. But I don't feel like there's much reason for them to discard with the frog unless they're trying to bait me tapping out of the Aether Spellbomb. Right? Like what's the point of doing this besides that? Maybe it gives less of a boring win con in the game's end earlier with the fractal thing. Yeah, that would be heartbreaking. All right, so no more Wrath Disguise for you. A little bit interesting that they cast this though. Let's see if I think their last. What's their last card? It is another Goryo's, but the Aether Spellbomb. Oh, so they wanted to bait the Aether Spellbomb not for Goryo's. They wanted to bait the Aether Spellbomb for Wrath Disguise. So I don't have the second red to play both emissaries here. So I think we just bounce now. So they have no Wrath Disguise and they have no... Oh, sorry, we got the Ephemerates last game. Is the Omni Wizard Control still good in the meta? I don't think it's good in the meta, no. I do love that deck overall, but I wouldn't particularly recommend it. So they has Goryo's 2 mystery card. Oh, sorry, Goryo's Frog mystery card. And so they just drew this, so maybe they'll Fetch Shock, replay the Frog. Cauldron, Gristlebrand, Fractal Ballista. That's something, yeah, for sure. This set has like infinite stuff to cook with, and like this set is a gift to me for sure. The exact kind of like cards I like to brew with. I'm very excited for this Strixhaven set. Okay, so I'm gonna do the awkward bounce back. We just shouldn't be playing Cage in this build, I think, but okay, Erayo would be nice. We haven't seen. I guess we milled one. Okay, we did find the Erayo. So there's one match in progress. I'm a little dehydrated. I'm gonna go hydrate, and I guess I don't know why I don't need to announce this now, but I'm upgrading my aquarium, and I want to set up a camp down there for when I take a break. I'm gonna mulligan this on the play. I think it's not super clear. That's right. Might go to 5. Yeah, Ryo flies. Opponent's on the mull to 6. So this is immol to 5. So I need to keep 1, 2. I need to keep. I guess we'll go like this. Perhaps only women can fly. Is Tamashi not a woman? Um, is there a species of bird where like the man can't fly? I don't know if I'm just totally imagining that. I feel like that might be the case. Monkey. Male flamingos can't fly. Can female flamingos fly? I thought no ostriches could fly. What's that called? Sexual dimorphism? Like how the male anglerfish is like teeny tiny parasite on the female anglerfish. Biology with your friend Aspiring Spike on a Monday. Monday's biology class, Tuesday's sociology, Thursdays is geography, Wednesday, recess. So I guess we're playing Jeskai Blink. I guess it could still be Domain Zoo now. Now it's Blink for sure. Did you see the Merfolk of the Brainstorm? Harmonize Trio. Yeah, I think that card's really interesting. I'm really daydreaming about having counterbalance in play, brainstorming in response to their spell, then they play another spell, and then you prepare another brainstorm. All right, I guess I need to draw a 1 or a 0 to flip Erayo. Not quite. All right, this lets me go Erayo, Ethersworn Canonist next turn, so we'll try to leave this back to block so we can keep the Saga. When are we doing the next trophy race? When were you here last, Grungler? You've been here. I don't know. Trophy race is not going to happen for me until the game is designed, and then hopefully probably not anyways, because it's just not super healthy way to balance your life. But at the very least, not until the game I'm working on is published. All right, I think we just get to win the game unless they have a Solitude. I wonder if they ever Solitude the Tamiyo if I attack. I think we might as well go for it. Oh, although they get to hit me with the Ragavan. That shouldn't matter much though, right? They could hit my 1 of Aether Spellbomb. Okay. I'll live in fear of Aether Spellbomb. Oh man. All right, so opponent, the first spell you play each turn is countered, and you can't play any non-artifact spells on any turn. Does my opponent realize the game is probably over? I don't know. Maybe they have a Otawara. They're just playing a spell here. My opponent is not. They're like, I'm not reading that shit. I'm casting Wrath the Skies, dude. You think I'm gonna read your Kamikawa card? I'm just gonna cast Wrath X equals 2. Wait, what? What does this do? What the heck? We're in the test of talents here. I think I'm gonna go down 1 Emissary, maybe 1 Kappa, 2 Emissary, and Preordain. Yeah, I think I like the 3-1. Just mostly in on like the Erayo lock. Put a run the rest of this guy's Erayo. Well, they couldn't cast they couldn't resolve anything the rest of the game for whatever that's worth. Yeah, just do a bug check. I really like the Boomerang Basics being able to like bounce stuff after you flip Erayo. And also helps you flip Erayo. Hey, Hercules. Congrats on the day off. All right, we'll keep this. So if I can surveil into another 0-drop or another Boomerang Basics, we can flip Erayo. Does seem like they have March or Wear Tear here, though. So I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to play the Saga and I'm not going to get to make any mana off of it. So I guess this does flip, yeah. So I go Erayo, Amber, Basics, Aether Spellbomb. It's also a little bit awkward if they Felia. Any update on Simic Coco? The 1-4-1 is cool. Yeah, I'm not sure. So we 3-2'd with the Bant, and then we 3-2'd with the 4-1 with Simic that was splashing white. Like it was white based, and then there was just Simic or Celestia based, and there was Simic based. I do think the Celestia one was better. I think the Simic one was cooler, and we did have a better record with it. So I don't know. So they play the Felia now. Why would you play Felia now? If I hit a Mox Amber, it has to be exactly Mox Amber. Oh, sorry, this was the fourth spell. I mean, they have a Solitude anyways, but yeah, sorry. I didn't realize this was the fourth spell. Wait, how was it the fourth spell? Oh, they cast the Felia. That's how it was the fourth spell. I forgot that them, yeah. Although them solituding, this worked out better. They also have a Felia in play. I mean, I know they have Felia in play, but if I found another Mox, I could bounce the Felia with Aether Spellbomb. But I didn't realize that if the Boomerang Basics is flipping there, then that's definitely the move. That's a bad card to see here. A second Boomerang Basics is pretty cool though. I think I'm just gonna run out Erayo. Hope that they're out of action here. And then I'm able to go like Boomerang Basics the Conqueror, play Mox Amber, Boomerang Basics the Felia, get an Aether Spellbomb maybe, or get a Mox Opal, pass Aether Spellbomb, cast Canonist. Maybe I'm one short. Alright. Need to dodge a Discharge or a Solitude, and they also have the ability to blink the KC to dig 3 more. Hey, Janum. Let's have game 3. Hopefully, I have enough time for game 3. Should have enough time. Yeah, they are just guy. They just didn't draw any blue mana. Okay, so drawing that's a pretty big deal. So now I can go Boomerang Basics the Conqueror, Amber Boomerang Basics the Felia, then play Canonist. Well, let's hope. Maybe we... Well, they do have to discard 6 cards. So let's get the Mox Opal. Let's go Boomerang Basics the Clarion Conqueror. Play Mox Amber, play Emry, turn on both Moxen. Boomerang Basics, and then Aether Spellbomb bounds. Oh no, dang it! Ah! Oh wait, sorry. Okay, I have Metalcraft. I thought I lost Metalcraft for a second. Maybe don't bounce the Casey, but I don't know. They have to discard 6 cards now at random. Maybe they'll just discard all the stuff I care about. They discarded a Flage and they've got Arena of Glory in play. So we'll go to game. So we'll get to game 3 on the play for game 3. Kind of a fun play though. I think we'll just have just the Spellbomb there. Dude, the spoilers just never stop coming. Flow state. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, one of them to your hand, the rest on the bottom in any order. If there's an instant or sorcery in your graveyard, instead put 2 in your hand and the rest on the bottom in any order. Wait, this is just better expressive iteration, right? Mostly, you have to have an instant or sorcery in the yard. I think they power crept expressive iteration. I think I'm gonna crack the bauble. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh, you need instant and sorcery. Okay. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Still interesting for sure. That's the most stun I've seen in my face. Well, I just tried to figure out what I was missing, and I was missing something. Like, I just didn't think they would print that card, you know what I mean? I'm gonna crack the bauble. It's like that just it didn't seem like I was right. I'm not reading this right. I read it again, I still read it wrong. Do you want another Kappa? I think as a blink, I fear that card more than anything. Well, the Loch is I think pretty good against blink, which is why I wanted to kind of move more into that. Yeah, it's not blue red either. That definitely matters. They probably don't have a second wear tear if they didn't kill my Saga there. Oh, right. I forgot about the dispute. Maybe I was just supposed to surveil this turn. Maybe this is okay. Exchange. Just draw a Ryo, flip a Ryo next turn. Yeah, it doesn't count itself because it's on the stack while it's resolving. Wrath? Ugh. Yeah, I saw Harmonized Trio. I'm excited. I'm excited for that card. I'm excited to have Counterbalance in play, brainstorm in response to a spell, then re-prepare and brainstorm again in response to another spell. I got to do that at least once. Yeah, this card is full of modern playable juice. I'm just like I'm in awe like every every 2 seconds with spoilers. I feel. High Noon is a pretty funny card for them to play against the Erayo deck, but I guess they just would never play it if there's a Erayo in play. Two matches in progress here. We get actual brainstorm modern. It's not they're not it's not actual brainstorm. It's a 1 mana creature. You have to tap it and then 2 other untapped creatures to prepare a brainstorm. But you can brainstorm potentially every turn with it. It's not a strictly worse brainstorm. It's just a mostly worse brainstorm. All right. Well, I don't think that we're beating this draw. uh, although I guess Boomerang Basics is pretty good against Flage next turn. Yeah, the set is looking really exciting. I do feel like the no changes decisions they're making more sense with this set very likely going to be a big modern shakeup. I got a Minecraft sponsor offer from Twitch. I might. I'm looking for a variety thing to do on my birthday in 2 days. Maybe I've never played Minecraft though. I don't. It's probably not a good idea. Could be kind of fun. Spike plays Minecraft for the first time. That'd be fun. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if that's something Minecraft viewers would like to watch, but I don't know. It could be kind of fun. I have been looking for something variety for Wednesday. That could be a fun excuse to play Minecraft for the first time. My sister's always tried to get me into it, and it's never like it's always she's always kind of all over the place with it. So just maybe. I think Esther would like it a lot too. Maybe she could hang out some. All right, there is 1 match in progress. I think we'll chill. Let me go ahead and just drop from the current league so we can drop from league. So we can jump back in after this. I think I might just play Bauble turn 1. This way, if they have removal spell and 1-drop, I get to flip the Tamiyo turn 2. Although that way I don't get a token. I guess I kind of do need my token with the Kappa in hand. All right, we'll go for it. We also could draw Boomerang Basics and flip. I guess sorry, I shouldn't have played the Amber though because of the Erayos. Shubapa with the Twitch Prime, appreciate you. They're playing an expedition map over there. But I've been to a few escape rooms, and I'll say that they've got like big diminishing returns. I think the more you go to them, the less you're interested in going to them, or I am at least, which is kind of a problem for their business model. You know what I mean? So we might just get Troned. We can flip a Ryo if we draw a Ryo because we could minus on Boomerang Basics, which seems like that should maybe be my plan. I drew another Boomerang Basics. Attack with a Tamiyo. I'm like always minusing on the Boomerang Basics here, I think. I can still play Kappa Cannoneer. It's just like the Boomerang Basics are 0 mana draw card basically. Have we seen Mind Over Matter? I've played a lot of Mind Over Matter on the stream. We used to play it with Young Pyromancer or Jadora. There was like the 2 mana 1/2, and there was, I can't remember what the condition was, but you could meet a condition to make a panther or a cat every turn. I don't think it was Jadora. Something. It sounded something like that. Oh, not mind into matter. Okay, so this is discard a card. You may tap or untap target creature land. We okay with this card. We've played every freaking card at this point. But this card, yes, we paired that with the One Ring. You would tap the ring, and then you would discard a card. You'd untap it, and you go off. Although I actually don't know that it was called. I thought maybe it wasn't this one. Maybe there was a different. I think it was a different card that it's like discard an artifact. I don't know if this card is legal. They did mean mind into matter. I mean, I do think that's that certainly. If the question was talking about a Boron Oculus, one of these cards seems good with Oculus. The other doesn't seem like it does anything. Oh, it's a new card? That was linked. Okay. This is really just an issue with the Magic names. Mind into matter. Draw X cards and put a permanent card with mana value X or less from your hand on the battlefield tapped. Whoa. This card would be insane as an instant. It's kind of good. It's like kind of almost good. Is it a Titan card? Yeah, maybe a Titan card. I could see this card. It does seem very good in Titan. The thing about Titan is you just have like a lot of already existing very good options. Just add it to the pile of really cool, interesting Strixhaven cards that we will maybe play at some point. There are roughly infinity cards like this at this point. I don't think I want to Aether Spellbomb this. I have already played my non-artifact card of the turn. Wait, can I put a land into play? Oh, it can put a land into play. So it's like it can just be 2 mana, play an extra land as a ramp spell, which is it's not very good to do that. But that's an interesting application for it, I think. This card also can be like 3 mana draw a card, put a land, 3 mana explore. Oh, cool card. Oh yeah, Jorio, whenever you drew your second card, you made a cat. And then it worked well with Meeting of the Minds because you also got to put an extra one. Now this card is sick, and we are adding it to the long list of really, really sick Strixhaven cards. I'm going to be making this PowerPoint for like a month. Biscuit with the 52, appreciate you. Yeah, I could put Soul Talisman, Lotus Bloom, Asmo. Not that you're very likely to be doing that with this card, but it's not nothing. Can they cake him at my Kappa? I think they can. Yeah, I should probably get started on the PowerPoint. I have a lot going on at the moment. Like I've got like a big project for my game this week, and then I'm hosting this like birthday barbecue this weekend, and I've got like a lot to prepare for that. And then I also Esther gave me a new fish tank to up, and so upgrading that's gonna take a lot of time. I've got a busy week ahead of me. Busy week. So probably can't start the PowerPoint this week. I can get it started next week. We still have 2 weeks. Or start the PowerPoint now, so you don't have to spend an entire weekend. I can't. I don't think I can do it. Can start it this week, but I can start it next week. Wait, they exile the Kappa Cannoneer after I attack them? I feel like they should have just made. Oh, they're just playing around Rebuke though. I'm just gonna concede. Yeah, she got me a 75 gallon. I have a 40 gallon now. Very excited for the upgrade. So I'm gonna bring in 3 consign for 3 canonists. I'm gonna bring in a needle over a lantern. Maybe 1 canonist is still okay. They just have too many artifacts to fight through it, probably. All right, interesting hand. Another interesting Tamiyo hand. Cool Flusterstorm art. I wish we could still play this card. What's my plan for the 40? How can I convince me to try saltwater? I mean, I've heard a lot of caution against saltwater mostly. And for the 40, I'm gonna try to find somebody to give it to. Like reselling fish equipment is tough. And I don't want to get I'm not gonna get over committed on tanks. I like having just one aquarium. I've tried to like have a second project, and I always had a hard time getting it off the ground, and I've definitely found myself to be a lot more content with just one aquarium. I haven't played Modern Wise Flusterstorm bad. There is mostly like you would always want to play like Consign or Spell Pierce or Spell Snare in that spot, with like needing to counter like Karn the Great Creator and Goblin Charbelcher, Ruby Medallion, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but what am I missing about Saltwater? I mean, their Saltwater is cooler and more difficult, is my understanding. Can I play 4 spells here? I think no. So I can go 1 drop this. Yes, I guess we just play the Emry so that I can flip Erayo next turn. Why didn't I wait for the Devourer trigger to resolve? I'm mostly autopiloting between rounds of the challenge. Is the truth? The truth comes out. You get more interesting fish. I agree. You get more interesting fish, but I just have too many commitments. I just don't think I could commit to a saltwater. But that is my understanding, is that that's the upside to saltwater, is that you get cooler fish, and as long as that's as long as I understand that's what I'm missing, then I'm fine to continue to miss it. All right, so flip Erayo. Aspiring wife with the 54 months. Thank you, sweetie. As always, when Esther resubscribes, everyone gets a free thank you, sweetie, with their subscription for the next 10 minutes. Guess we're keeping both of these. We're gonna get a fish tank reveal. So once it's done, it's gonna be like at least a month before this would be ready. But I think I want to use the aquarium as like a break screen, like a live stream of the aquarium, or maybe like even just like a looped video of it. Bromeister, the 2 months, welcome back, appreciate you. Image of the 22, thank you. And that way it's tax deductible. So yeah, thank you, sweetie, for the 2 months, and great image. Thank you, sweetie, for the 22. Kador with the 2 months. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, sorry, sweetie. I'm not paying that much attention, as I thank all of these subscribers. Easter Monday, not a holiday in the U.S. No. I'm also, if it is a holiday, I play Magic the Gathering, and I like to I like to play Magic the Gathering. Yvoke with 8 months. Thank you, sweetie. Avin with the 16. Thank you, sweetie. We lost to Affinity in the challenge. Their second time playing this deck, losing to Affinity with 2 Wraths in our hand. It just wasn't a good way to sequence him in these games. It is for my son's daycare. That's just a little scammy, maybe. I don't know. I guess I'll name Expedition Map since they didn't crack it. Not too scared of Karn with the Erayo and the Consign. Maybe I didn't make a construct so I could just milk this flip Erayo game more. Snivy, the 5 months, welcome. Thank you back. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, play the Bauble. Opponent is still gaming here. We could also maybe try Erayo in the Glaring Fleshraker build. I don't know what we could maybe cut. Could cut Preordain for Boomerang Basics. I'm just gonna make a note to just try it there. I have a long list of notes that to try at the moment, but we could maybe just be more of like play it in the K command build too. Huh. Wait, they targeted Emry? Targeting Emry there is pretty crazy. I mean, I just get to loop the consign though. I did see the new iteration. Think it's pretty cool. Do I play a lot of mode off stream? Yeah, I do a lot of off stream testing. Do you think the new Emeritus of Abundance has legs as a reasonable regrowth? I do think so. Some people in the chat have said they don't like it very much, but I think it's not very good to cast on turn 3. But it's the 4 toughness is huge because it survives Flage. The Flage test is a bit more important than the Lightning Bolt test in Modern these days. And I like that it's like fine early, and then it's like a good 2-for-1 if you untap with it, and then if you get to the late game, it's just gonna win you the game, as you like loop Orm's Chant maybe. So I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely on my list to try. That list of things to try from this set it's so long. It is a long list at the moment. The target Erayo. I thought they targeted the Emry. I guess we could maybe just let Erayo get targeted if they have another Ugin, we could just reflip. Yeah, the set looks so sick. I'm so excited for a set. I need to scream this. I'm not going to scream, but this is a set that is instant and sorcery focused, which is such a breath of fresh air, with every Universe Beyond set just being, here's 100 new legendary creatures. Here's 100 new legendary creatures. Have fun. This set is, again, I can't stress this enough, another set that's 100 legendary creatures. I'm so tired of legendary creatures. If only there was like a format where legendary creatures matter. Like where do they want us to play these cards? I don't understand. I mean, I'm digging for another consign. Well, I think we're beating everything really. Maybe. I mean, we could minus for consign next turn. We still have Flip Erayo. They're dead next turn. It should be okay. So they play Seer into the Erayo, and then they can see the game. Okay, so we're going to game 3. I've been trying to wrap my head around this 1-mana green sorcery cantrip. Is this card totally unplayable or amazing? As we know, those are always... This is the only 2 things a card can be. Awful, shit, meme, or amazing. Every Magic card is exactly one of these 2 things. I'm sorry, it's lagging. I don't. This one is kind of interesting. My mythic spoiler is just totally frozen. In fact, it may have crashed. Okay, never. Target creature gets a count +1 till end of turn, draw a card, gain a life. Yeah, I don't think that I would probably ever play this in Modern, but it is like kind of uniquely powerful. There's not too many other cards that do something exactly like this. Could be a card that sees play in Standard. All right, I think we lead on the old Tamiyo here. Is it really a cantrip if you need a target? Yeah, I think that's the problem with the card. It's not one that I would reach for in modern. Although, at a certain power level, you would start playing these cards. Not that this card is really close to that. Not feeling too good about the turn 2 Raker of Flesh here. I think I need to play Emry over bouncing with the Spellbomb, though. Maybe I could have bobbled myself, and if I saw a consign, maybe I would keep that on top. I am happy to see the tower instead. Flow state seems crazy. I think it's interesting. Okay, happy to draw a Ryo. I'm not sure if we can flip it next turn. With the Emry, Emry helps a lot, obviously. Boomerang Basics helps a lot. So let's go to combat first. Maybe if my opponent's holding up K command, they'll kill the Tamiyo right now. All right. Start off with the Boomerang Basics. I guess I'm gonna just never make a construct, so I'll tap here. And I think I preordain next to flip the Erayo and the Tamiyo, hopefully. Okay, it did flip. Great. So let's bottom both of these. Flip Tamiyo. Target Amber. And we could play another Tamiyo, but I think at this point I want to try to bounce this in their upkeep. Although bouncing this, it's a little bit weird because maybe it just gives them a cheap spell to play into Erayo. Where do you think you'd start as far as cheap instants and sorceries for flow state to be consistent? So that's an interesting question. It kind of like the real answer is if you're gonna play this card, enablers like Faithless Looting and Channeler and Thought Scour, like you probably want to have some of those in your deck, right? And I think I'm making the construct. You probably want to have some amount of that in your deck. Some amount of Channeler, Looting, Thought Scour if you're playing this card, at least to start with. At least to start with to see how good this card is. I'm gonna name Karn the Great Creator here. And so if that's the case, that really messes with the numbers. So I don't know. But I'm interested to find out. All right, so I've not drawn a card yet for the Tamiyo purposes. I did find a consign. I do think I want to play the other Tamiyo here instead of cycling Bauble. Kind of telegraphed that I have the consign, I guess. Maybe that's an issue. Like it's possible, like if you just have Dragon Rage's Channeler in your deck, then like this card just enables that so easily that you don't really need to even think about it that much. It's also possible that, even this card is like maybe better than Iteration if you built your deck a specific way, but if it's like only sometimes a little bit of a better expressive iteration, is that gonna make like is does that mean it's only good in prowess? I don't know yet. It also can go in like Dimir decks potentially. Okay, interesting they didn't cast the Flesh Raker first. Yeah, they could have played this into Flesh Raker into this into Ugin, right? So we force them to chump block with just. I guess I need to play a emissary pre-combat to make that true. And then I do need to play this one. No, I guess I don't because of the Tamiyo. I'm gonna play it anyways. Probably wanted multiple Ugin triggers. Yeah. Although they knew I had the consign, I minused on it. I guess they're not paying that much attention. Did I not minus on it, or did I draw it? I really thought I minused on it. Maybe I didn't. Oh no, I preordained into it, and I returned the preordain. Okay, never mind. Never mind. All right, that's needled. Yeah, I did definitely telegraph it a lot. Well, hopefully we're getting kind of close. If you want to post any decks in the chat, I can take a look when we get back to.